All right. Good morning, students. I hope you are able to hear me. Right. So, yeah. Before we begin ahead, there's a quick, interesting fact for all of you. I don't know whether you guys know it or not. It's about bananas. Many of you must be liking bananas. How many of you like bananas? How many of you like bananas? Many of you might be. Yes. Very good. So there is a quick fact here. Acha, which nutrient or which iron or which component is present in banana? Anyone? Bio students? Which component is present in huge amounts in banana? Like, yes, very good. Vaibhav and Mansi, very good. Carbohydrates are common in any fruit. It is huge amounts of potassium which you get from banana. Right? Yes, Ganesh. So you get lot of potassium from bananas. And the fact here is potassium ion has been found to be slightly radioactive. It has been found to be slightly radioactive, right? So eating banana exposes you to about 0.1 microsieverts of radiation. Microsieverts is a unit to measure radiation. Microsieverts is a unit to measure radiation, right? Now, this is, in fact, there is a biological oxygen demand. There is a dosage for banana also, which is known as banana equivalent dose, right? So, if you talk about exact value, is it harmful for you? Is it harmful for you? The thing here is, if you want to get exposed to these radiations, or if you want to feel the harmful effect of these radiations, you need to eat approximately 1 crore bananas. Then the amount of radiation reaching you will be harmful. 1 crore bananas, right? So there is nothing to worry about here. You can easily eat bananas, right? It's good for your diet, right? But there is a quick fact that yes, potassium ions are slightly radioactive, right? All right. So can anybody recall what did we study in last class? Can anybody recall what did we study in last class? 1 crore at a time. Yes, correct. Yes, Naren, because their genes are different, their DNAs are different, right? For them, they may be able to adapt to it. So we had discussed last class about complex formation, alloys, right? And bit introduction to a coordination compound, catalytic properties, very good. Yes, so these were the things we had discussed. Now let's move towards today's topics, right? So we are going to study about coordination compounds of transition element or compounds of D block element. There are two compounds in general we have to study according to your textbook. Those are K2Cr2O7. You must have seen this compound in your lab, potassium dichromate. You must have also seen KMNO4, potassium permanganate, right? Can anybody tell me here what is the color of potassium dichromate if you have seen it in lab? What is the color of potassium dichromate if you have seen it in lab? Very good, Prajwal. So it is orange. What about KMNO4? Purple. Very good. It's actually mixed color, but okay, you can say it's purple. Pinkish purple, dark pinkish, whatever shade you want, you can say it. Yeah, these two compounds you have to study in detail. We'll discuss them. So yeah, let's begin with a recall test. Right? The question here is the elements having lowest and highest oxidation number respectively are. Among transition elements, what are the elements having lowest and highest oxidation state among the transition elements? So among the transition elements, which elements have lowest and highest oxidation number? All right. So there are mixed answers here. Still, okay, you have another 10 seconds to answer this. Yes, Meghna, Avnish, Avinash. Namrata, beta, check again. All right. So let's end it on a count of 3, 2, 1. Now. Yes. All right, Athav. So the correct answer here is C, third one. Why is it so? All of us know silver shows the oxidation state of what? Ag plus. This is the minimum. And the maximum oxidation state is shown by manganese, that is +7. Right? Is the manganese element which shows maximum oxidation state in periodic table? Answer is no. Among the given option, yes, manganese shows the highest. Among the given option, manganese shows the highest. But there are some elements we have discussed, ruthenium, osmium, they can show +8. They can even show +8, right? So among the given option, you don't see ruthenium, osmium, so maximum is shown by manganese. Among the given option, what is the oxidation state shown by scandium? What is the oxidation state shown by scandium? Anyone? +3. Very good. It does not show +2. Remember, it does not show +2. Scandium +3. Manganese can show highest of +7. Iron can show maximum of +6. Manganese can show maximum of +7. Iron minimum oxidation state possible is +2. Silver minimum oxidation state possible is +1. You must have observed AgCl, Ag plus Cl minus, right? So your correct answer is C. Is that clear, everyone? Yes. Is that clear? So to those who answered A, B, and D, is this clear, everyone? All right. So let's move ahead then. Yeah. So we are going to study about two compounds today, dichromate and chemnophore. We need thoda information about redox reactions also for balancing of redox, right? We'll discuss that. Yeah. So the first compound we are going to study today is potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7, right? Let us see what is potassium dichromate, what is its structure, what are its properties, right? Now, if you see this carefully, this is how potassium dichromate looks like, right? So in nature, potassium dichromate is found in a ore known as chromite ore, simple chromite ore or iron chromite ore, right? What is the formula of chromite ore? FeCr2O4. It is FeCr2O4, or you can write FeCr2O4 as FeO dot Cr2O3. It's a mixed oxide. It's a mixed oxide. It's a mixed oxide. Right? Like Fe3O4. Like Fe3O4 is a mixture of FeO. If you remember, Fe3O4 is a mixed oxide of FeO and Fe2O3. Similarly, chromite ore is a mixed oxide of FeCr2O3. They may ask you the oxidation state of iron and chromium here. So you can clearly see here, iron is +2, chromium is +3. Right? My voice is coming like a robot. What does it mean, Danush? What does it mean, Danush? Yeah. So the structure, if you go to dichromate, I'm not muted, Danush. Sorry, it is Fe3O4. So now, yes, thank you, Ravi Kumar. Now, if you see this structure of dichromate structure, anyways, you have to study in detail later also. So what you can draw the structure of dichromate is, there are two chromium atoms. Both are linked together by a common oxygen, right? Then you satisfy the valency of chromium. So chromium, all of us know in K2Cr2O7. Can anybody tell what will be the oxidation state of chromium? What will be the oxidation state of chromium? What will be the oxidation state of chromium? Yes. So you can write this as 2K plus and Cr2O7 2 minus. In this, you can assume the oxidation state of chromium is X into 2 plus 7 into minus 2 equal to minus 2. So from here, you'll get X as +6, right? So now I need to make it +6. So what I'll do is, oxygen is -2. So it will give +1 to chromium, right? To balance the charge. Now there will be a double bond O. So with this oxygen, it is getting -2. So to balance -2, there will be +2. To balance -2, there will be a +2. So you have got +5. That means you need one more. So keep one oxygen, right? Now this oxygen is bonded to potassium. So K plus O minus. So oxygen is -2. So +1. -2 +1 +1 +2. Neutral. Correct? Now, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? Same thing you can do it here also, structure. Same structure you can draw here also. You can draw the same structure here, right? So this is what you are going to get. Danush, my screen is pretty well moving, beta. Now, if you see this, the ore does not contain potassium, then how can we say? Aditya, it is not the ore of potassium dichromate. It is the ore of chromate. It is the ore of chromate, Aditya. From chromate, you can obtain dichromate. Okay? Right? We can say the bond between two chromium has peroxide linkage. No, there is no peroxide linkage here. Meghna, this is not peroxide linkage. This is a normal oxygen. Right? Why is it called mixed oxide? Because it is a oxide it's a mixture of +2 oxide and +3 oxide. Therefore, it is a mixed oxide. Okay? Is that clear, everyone? So this is how the structure will look like. Any doubt in this? Anyone? The structure is clear to everyone. Please check the structure carefully. If there is any doubt, please quickly ask. We'll anyways come to the structure again. But still, is there any doubt in the structure? I will redraw the structure for your understanding. Right. So if you take chromium, two chromium are joined to each other by single oxygen. Then you keep a double bond O, single bond O, double bond O, double bond O, single bond O. Now this single bond O will be bonded to potassium, K plus, O minus, K plus. Now you can balance the charges. How can you balance the charges? Let us say this is -2. So it will give, to balance -2, you'll give +1, +1. So if this, now this is -2 +2 balance. Now you can give -2 to this oxygen. This is actually there in redox also, for those who know. Then +2 on this chromium. -2 on oxygen, +2 on chromium. So you got +5 total. You want one more +1. So therefore you'll get -1 on this oxygen and +1 on this oxygen. So what do you get total? +4, +5, +6. So now the oxidation state in this structure comes out to be +6. So we'll say the structure is correct, right? The structure is correct. Yes, Pritesh. Now, can anybody tell me here? What will be the hybridization of chromium here? Can anybody tell me here what will be the hybridization of this chromium here? What is the hybridization of this chromium here? Very good. It is sp3, right? Because there is how many bond pair? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bond pair and 0 lone pair. So therefore its hybridization is what? sp3. Correct? Very good, all of you. Tejas, check again, beta. It is sp3. Let's move ahead to the preparation of dichromate. It is a 3-mark question for your PU board exam. Even CBSE board exam, you'll get a 3-mark question on this. Right? It's a question of 3 marks. Does the structure have a name? Obviously, its name is potassium dichromate, Aditya. The structure has a name of potassium dichromate. The structure has a name of potassium dichromate. Okay? Now, let us see the preparation of potassium dichromate. Right? Can we determine the oxidation state of an element by its bond with other elements? Of course, yes. That is one of the method of finding oxidation state in redox Naren. To give you an example, I'll give you one brief example and move ahead. Let us say water, right? So for each bond, you give +1 to less electronegative atom, -1 to more electronegative atom. So for example, in this bond, hydrogen is less electronegative, so give it +1. Oxygen is more electronegative, give it -1. For this bond, hydrogen is less electronegative, give it +1. Oxygen is more electronegative, give it -1. So total, how much do you get? You get a total of -2 oxygen, right? No. Sorry guys. Aditya, no. There is no such bond here. You can say this is oxygen is a bridge bond between 2 chromium. You can say this is a bridge bond between 2 chromium, but there is no banana bond or something named here. Okay? Now, if you come to the preparation, again, as I said it's a 3-mark, 3-step preparation, very important for your exam, right? If you see this, we are starting with chromite ore. This is our chromite ore. So we take, first step, we prepare sodium chromate. This is our chromite ore. We treat our chromite ore with sodium carbonate and oxygen, right? This is basically burning of chromite ore in sodium carbonate and oxygen. So chromite ore will get converted into sodium chromate, Na2CrO4. Now easy way of remembering it will be, you remember chromate ion, CrO4 2- has to be formed. Dichromate is Cr2O7 2-. So you'll get chromate ion, its compound will be formed with sodium. So compound with sodium is what? Na2CrO4. Cross multiply the charges, right? So So you'll get Na2CrO4. Right? Now, since you are taking 8 moles of sodium chromate here, you'll get 8 moles of sodium. Sodium carbonate, you are taking 8 moles. That's why you're getting sodium chromate 8 moles. Right? Iron are how much? You'll get iron oxide, Fe2O3. Now, how many iron are there? 4. So balance it, you'll get 2 Fe2O3. Now, how many carbon are there? 8. How many carbon are there? 8. Therefore, you'll get 8 CO2. Right? So this is your balance reaction for first step. I don't think so there should be any doubt in this because it's a straightforward reaction, right? Which you need to remember in exam. Do not get jumbled with the stoichiometry. It's pretty easy, right? It's 4, 8, 7. If it is 8 here, 8 here, 8 here, right? Only 2 here and 4 here. Oxygen is 7, right? 8 sodium carbonate, 8 Na2CrO4, 8 CO2, 2 Fe2O3, double of it, 4 FeCr2O4 and 7 O2, right? This is how you should remember. Fe2O3 is called as, very good, good question. But this good question is coming very late. It should have come in 9th and 10th standard. Fe2O3 will be named as what? Iron is in +3 oxidation state. So you will name it as ferric oxide. It is ferric oxide. Okay? It is chromate. This is chromite. The ore name is chromite ore. The compound which you have formed is chromate compound, sodium chromate. This ion is known as chromate ion. This ion is known as chromate ion, right? And this ore is your chromite ore, right? Now, what is the second step of the preparation? The sodium chromate which you have got here will be converted to sodium chromate will be converted to sodium dichromate. That means you are converting your chromate ion into dichromate ion, right? You will convert your chromate ion to dichromate ion from 1 chromium to 2 chromium. That's all, right? So see carefully. You took your sodium chromate here and treated it with acidic medium. So when you treated Na2CrO4 in acidic medium, you got Na2Cr2O7. That means your chromate has been converted into sodium chromate, has been converted into dichromate. Right? Now, one thing very important. What are you using here? H2S4. That means you are adding acid. Correct? It gives you one very good importance here that when you add acid to chromate, it will get converted into dichromate. That means dichromate is more stable. It is more stable in which medium? Acidic medium or basic medium? Dichromate is more stable in acidic medium or basic medium? Dichromate is more stable in acidic medium or basic medium? Acidic medium. It is stable in acidic medium. Because when you added acid to chromate, it got converted into dichromate. That means in acidic medium, dichromate is more stable. Right? I hope it is clear. Now, the next thing which we need to learn here is how we need potassium dichromate. So, how to convert your sodium dichromate into potassium dichromate? Just you have to replace sodium by potassium. So, sodium dichromate, when treated with 2 KCl, 2 sodium will be replaced by 2 potassium. So that Na2Cr2O7 will get converted into K2Cr2O7 and 2 Cl here will combine with 2 Na to form 2 NaCl. Correct? Now, please check all the 3 steps carefully. If there is any doubt in any of these steps, please ask quickly. I will show you next what is the experimental way of doing this, color change and all. Please check this carefully. If there is any doubt, please ask. Please check all the 3 steps carefully. When it comes in board, you have to write all 3 steps systematically. If you write these 3 steps, you will get 3 marks. Right? Step name, step reaction. Step name, step reaction. Before this, if you want, you can write potassium dichromate can be prepared from chromite ore, following 3 steps. Okay? Sodium dichromate is colored. Yes, sodium dichromate is colored. Just give me a minute. I am going to discuss the practical application of it. Why can't we take potassium carbonate in step 1 only? Solubility. The major concern will be solubility. Maybe potassium carbonate is not soluble enough. Darshan, maybe potassium carbonate is not soluble enough. Exactly, Pritesh. In step 1, combustion take place. Yes, Naren, it's a combustion reaction. NaCl means salt. Why this NaCl is used for cooking? The NaCl which you get here will be impure. It will have some impurities. Before you use it for cooking, you have to purify it. And purifying it will take more time and more efforts. By the time you purify it, you can obtain NaCl from ocean. Correct? I am saying sodium carbonate solubility, right, and potassium carbonate solubility are different. That's the reason we are using sodium carbonate. I know potassium carbonate is soluble. Sodium carbonate will be more soluble, mostly. If you go to this thing, carbonates, right? Down the group, among the group 1 carbonates, what happens to the solubility? Increases. It increases. Solubility, hey Pritesh, no, it does not decrease. Yeah, solubility increases. For group 1 carbonate, solubility increases down the group. So sodium carbonate is less soluble than potassium carbonate. Then why we are not using potassium carbonate? If you use potassium carbonate, what will happen? Yes, I'll answer this. One reason may be the color observation change. Okay, maybe due to because you want to observe the change in the color, right? Just give me 1 minute, I'll answer this. Yeah. So down the group 1 carbonate solubility increases, group 2 carbonate solubility decreases. So we'll come to this, why we can't use potassium carbonate here. Now, see this, the first step, as I was telling you, it's a combustion step. It is carried out in a reverberatory furnace where you heat your chromite ore in the presence of oxygen, right? In the presence of sodium carbonate, right? Now, if you see this carefully, this is the furnace which you use, right? There is a lot of reaction which is done in this reverberatory furnace. In metallurgy, you'll see a lot of metallurgical processes are also done in this, right? So the reverberatory furnace is used to carry out this combustion reaction, and you get sodium chromate in this, right? Now, Pritesh, go and check again. Reverberatory is a name for this author. Pritesh, go home and check your notes again. Now, if you see this carefully, the next step is you get sodium chromate here, which is yellow color. The sodium chromate which you obtain here is yellow color. Now, that is impure. First, you filter it and purify it, and you'll get a sodium chromate. You can see, due to impurities, color is light. As soon as you filter it, its color intensity will increase. So sodium chromate is yellow in color. You should know this, right? Sodium chromate is yellow in color. You should know this. Now, what happens in next step? So sodium chromate, when treated with H2SO4, this is our second step, right? You'll get a sodium dichromate. You'll get a sodium dichromate, which is orange color, right? So sodium chromate when treated with H2SO4 gives you sodium dichromate. That means chromate is yellow, and dichromate is orange, right? Now, the acid which you use generally here is dilute. Generally, we use dilute acids, not very concentrated acids. Right? Now, if you take this in the next step, you can convert your sodium dichromate by treating it with KCl. You'll get potassium dichromate. You can see the intensity in the color. So sodium dichromate is light orange, potassium dichromate is reddish orange, right? So this is what you will get in the preparation of potassium dichromate. 3 steps for 3 marks. But you don't need to explain all the detailed explanation there. You just need to write name of the step, reaction. Name of the step, reaction. That's all you need to know. In JEE and NEET, step 2. Yes, Vani. What's the problem in step 2? In JEE and NEET, you get a question like this. A compound A on treatment with H2SO4 gives a compound B which is orange color, etc., etc. A roadmap based question you will get in JEE and NEET. This is not a practical for you in test. In 12th, you have a chromyl chloride test. For that, you use dichromate, but this preparation is not there in lab. Right? Yes, Shreyas, it does. Chalo. Now this is your third step. Now we are moving towards dichromate. If you see crystalline, it is dichromate, potassium dichromate is crystalline compound. It is ionic solid with bright red orange color. It contains potassium ion and dichromate ion. Right? So potassium is your cation, dichromate is your anion. Right? So if somebody asks you what type of bonds are present in potassium dichromate, what would be your answer? What would be your answer? What type of bonds are present in potassium dichromate? What would be your answer? What would you say? Yes, Pritish, very good. Yes, Aditya, obviously, you are right. So there are 2 types of bond basically. Between K plus and O minus, you have an ionic bond. And chromium has sp3 hybridization we had discussed. Hybridization is a concept of covalent bond. It is not applicable to ionic bond. So therefore, these bonds are which bond? Covalent bond. So it contains both ionic as well as covalent bond. Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? Yes. Is this clear, everyone? All right. Very good. Now, if you move ahead further, this is what you get. Now, pH value is very important. pH value is very, very important. Now, if you see this, there are 2 things you need to understand here. What are those? pH will decide whether your chromate will be formed or whether your dichromate will be formed. Another thing which you should know here is chromate is yellow color, dichromate is orange color. Right? Now you should know if you add H plus to chromate, CrO4 2 minus plus 2H plus gives you Cr2O7 2 minus, let's say 2 CrO4 2 minus, plus you'll get H2O. Right? You'll get this. Now, if you see this carefully, you observe that if you increase the pH, right? If you increase the pH, what will happen? Let's see the effect. If you increase pH, what will happen? It's a reversible reaction. If you increase the pH, what will happen? If you increase the pH, what will happen to the reaction? Very good, Ganesh. Now, if you see this carefully, if you increase the pH means what? If you increase the pH means what? pH increases means H plus concentration will decrease. pH increases means H plus concentration will decrease, right? And if H plus concentration decreases, reactant concentration decreases. So if your reactant concentration decreases, reaction goes in which direction? Backward direction. So reaction will go in which direction? If pH increases, the reaction goes in which direction? Backward direction. That means if reaction goes in backward direction, you'll get what color? You'll get chromate, that is yellow color. You'll get a yellow color solution, right? Now, if you see this, basicity increases, nahi bol sakte, basic character you should say. Now, the second thing is, if pH decreases, what will happen? If pH decreases means it is becoming acidic. If it is becoming acidic means what? H plus concentration, acid ka H plus concentration will increase, correct? pH increases means H plus concentration will increase. So what will happen is H plus concentration increases, H plus is a reactant, its concentration increases, reaction will move in forward direction from high to low. So if reaction moves in forward direction, what color will you get? You will get yellow dichromate. You will get a dichromate. And what's the dichromate color? Orange. So at low pH, you will get a orange color, and at high pH, you will get a yellow color. At low pH, you will get a orange color. At high pH, you will get a yellow color. Is that clear, everyone? This is very important. This is called effect of pH. Effect of pH on dichromate. Effect of pH on dichromate. Right? This is very, very important. Why the compounds are color? I'll come to that. Rohan, give me 1 minute. Actually, Rohan, if you understand the last class, I have already answered this in last class. Okay, if you see the last class, I have already answered. They are colored due to charge transfer. If you remember, I told you LMCT, MLCT also. They are colored due to charge transfer. Okay, but for changing pH, we generally add H plus to solution of chromate. Yes, Athar, we are right. Yes, Athar, you're right. Yes. Now let's move ahead. So this is what is explained here. If you maintain a low pH, then you'll get a orange color solution, right? If you maintain a high pH, you'll get a yellow color solution. This is the effect of pH, right? Now let me go towards the next effect, which is your heating effect. If you take the heating effect, let us take the heating effect. Yes. What is the effect of heating on dichromate? So when you heat a dichromate, you'll study this in P block also for preparation of N2. When you heat a dichromate, the following reaction takes place. 4K2Cr27 on heating gives you 4K2Cr04 plus 2Cr2O3 plus 3O2. Now question will be, see carefully, what is this? This is yellow. Why it is yellow? Because it is chromate. What is this? This is dichromate. It is orange. Now the question will be, a orange color compound A on heating gives you a yellow color compound B with the evolution of a gas C. Identify A, B, C. So it is A, which is dichromate, which on heating gives yellow color chromate, and oxygen gas is liberated, right? So this is very, very important reaction. Again and again I'm saying this is very, very important reaction, right? So dichromate on heating gives you potassium chromate, yellow color, chromium oxide, right? And oxygen gas is released, right? Cr2O3 will be usually green color. Chromium compounds are usually green color. +6 oxidation states में chromium compounds are usually green. Ravi, Kiran. All dichromates are orange. Most of them, Prashant. Potassium dichromate is orange. Ammonium also I think is orange. Sodium dichromate is orange. Sodium dichromate is orange. Ammonium dichromate also most likely it is orange. Okay? The formation of dichromate is a exothermic formation of dichromate is a exothermic. You can dichromate if you are asking the preparation of dichromate. If you are asking, there are 3 steps. Abhishek. So we need to check each and every step. Overall, I think it should be exo. I think it should be exo. But the point here is dichromate is not highly soluble, right? So dichromate ka dissolution is not exo, it is endo. I'll check this. Preparation is exo or endo. It's not possible to directly say this. We need to check delta H of each step. Then overall delta H we can talk about. First step, delta H is positive. There is no doubt about it. Second and third we need to check. Yeah. Is this clear, everyone? This is very, very important. Right. If you see this carefully, this is 3 things which we have studied so far. One is preparation of dichromate, effect of pH on dichromate, effect of heating on dichromate, right? This is the third thing you were studying about dichromate. Now we are moving towards the next thing, that is structure of chromate and dichromate. One important thing you should understand here is both of them have sp3 hybridization. Both of them have sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral geometry. Okay? Now this is the structure looks like. Chromate is Cr double bond O, double bond O, double bond O, O minus. This is CrO4. This is CrO4. One more O minus will be there. This is CrO4 2 minus. Right? And dichromate structure we have already discussed. It is CrOCr, double bond O, double bond O, O minus, double bond O, double bond O, O minus. There was a question in 2020 JEE Mains, first shift. What was the question? Simple. The question was the number of chromium oxygen bonds, number of chromium oxygen bonds in chromate is X, number of chromium oxygen bond in dichromate is Y. Find X plus Y. That was the question. Find X plus Y. That was the question. So what would be your answer? You can easily count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your X is 6. Then in dichromate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Y is 12. So your answer here would be 6 plus 12. That is 18. This was a question asked in 2020 JEE Mains. I think it was 8th Jan exam, 8th or 9th Jan exam. Okay? So structure is again important. You should know it. This type of questions can be asked from the structure. Is this clear, everyone? Yes. Is there any doubt in the structure? All right. Now, coming back here, solubility. As I said dichromate is soluble in water, but one thing you should add, it is soluble in hot water, right? It is not soluble in cold water. So if you have done the titration, I don't know whether you have done the titration or something of it. So you need to heat it to dissolve dichromate. It is not soluble directly. You need to provide it some temperature. So it is soluble in warm or hot water, right? Now, that is due to its high lattice energy. Now, if you see, this is the important part. In acidic solution, let me write the statement. I'll give you examples. This is a redox part. In acidic solution, dichromate act as strong oxidizing agent. That's the difference between dichromate and KMnO4. Dichromate acts as oxidizing agent in acidic medium, whereas KMnO4 can act as oxidizing agent in acidic, basic as well as neutral medium. That's the major difference between these two compounds. Now let us see one important reaction about dichromate. If it is an oxidizing agent, it should undergo reduction. So what is the reduction reaction of dichromate? If you get a question, how should you solve? So dichromate is Cr2O7 2-, right? This on reduction will give you Cr3+. Now let us do the balancing of redox reaction. So how many chromium are there? 2. So multiply 2 here. Now find the oxidation state of chromium here. It is +6. It is +6. And it is going from +6 to +3. How much is the change? 3. So you'll add 3 electrons here. But 3 electron is the change for 1 chromium. How many chromiums you have? 2. So for 2 chromium, the change will be 3 into 2. That means how many electrons? You'll have 6 electrons. Correct? Last slide. Yes, Ganesh. I'll come back to this slide, Ganesh. Don't worry. I'll come back to this slide. I'm deriving this. I'm balancing and writing this equation. Now, if you see this carefully, how many oxygen are here? 7. So add 7 water molecule here because there is no oxygen here, balancing the oxygen atom. When you add that, you add 14 hydrogen extra here. There is no hydrogen here. So to balance that in acidic medium, you add 14H+ here. So what is your overall reduction reaction? It is Cr2O7 2- plus 6 electron plus 14H+ gives you 2Cr3+ plus 7H2. This is your reduction reaction. Now, if you want to oxidize, let us say, what do we want to oxidize? We want to oxidize nitrite, NO2- to nitrate, NO3-. I want to write its oxidation reaction. Let us find the oxidation number. Nitrogen oxidation number here will be, let us say nitrogen is X, oxygen is -2. How many oxygens are there? 2. So 2 into -2 equal to overall charge -1. So you'll get X minus 4 is equals to -1. X is equals to 4 minus 1, that is +3. So what is the oxidation state here? +3. Now what about the other nitrogen here? If you simplify this, it will come out to be X plus 3 into -2 equal to -1. X minus 6 is equals to -1. X is equals to 6 minus 1, that is +5. So oxidation state of nitrogen here is +5. So nitrogen is going from +3 to +5. How much is the difference? Nitrogen is going from +3 to +5. How much is the difference? 2. So you will add 2 electron on the right side. Now you check oxygen are balanced or not. How many oxygens are here? 3. Here 2. 1 oxygen less. So add 1 water molecule. When you do that, you add 2 extra hydrogen here. There is 0 hydrogen. So add 2H+ here. Right? Now when you add overall these two reactions, you'll get the overall reaction. But when you add reduction and oxidation half, electrons should get cancelled. Here you have 2 electrons, here you have 6 electrons. Therefore, you need to multiply your second equation by 3. So when you multiply it with the second equation by 3 and add it to first, let us say, what will you get? Your reduction reaction will be, let us write separately, Cr2O7 2- plus 6 electron plus 14H+ gives 2Cr3 plus 7H2O. This is a reduction reaction, and oxidation reaction is NO2 minus gives NO3 minus plus. Now multiply it by 3, so you'll get 3NO2 minus 3NO3 minus plus 6 electron. Now adding these two, 6 electron will get cancelled, and you'll get what? Cr2O72 minus plus 3NO2 minus plus 14H plus gives you 2Cr3 plus there is 3 water molecule also. We have missed 3 water molecule here. So you will get plus 3H2O, and on the right side you get 2Cr3 plus 3NO3 minus plus 6H plus 7H2O. Now you can bring the H2O this side, 7 minus the H2O will be 4H2O. Bring this 6 plus H this side, 14H plus minus 6H plus will be 8H plus. You can write the overall reaction after this. Right? This is your final reaction which you get. So here what is dichromate doing? It is oxidizing nitrogen from +3 to +5. So whenever you want to write the reaction, you should write the reaction like this. Reduction will always be same. You just need to check your oxidation reaction. Right? So that is what we are saying here. In acidic medium, potassium dichromate releases nascent oxygen, which makes it a very strong oxidizing agent. Right? For example, dichromate can also oxidize alcohol to acid. It's a strong oxidizing agent. It will oxidize alcohol to acid. Now, there is one more important thing here. When you write this, what is the color of dichromate here? Dichromate is orange color. What will be color of chromium 3 plus here? Green. So during all these reactions, dichromate will convert from orange to green. In fact, it is also used to detect, or you can say it is also used for alcohol detect test. Matlab, if you are driving at a high speed, you must have observed when you are driving, when anyone is driving with drinking, right? So the traffic police can ask them to step out, and they can do a alcohol test in their body. So how do they do the alcohol test in their body? They will put a machine which will be having a dichromate in it. It will be having potassium dichromate in it, which is orange color. So if your body contains alcohol, your dichromate will oxidize alcohol. And if dichromate oxidizes alcohol in your mouth, it itself will get reduced to chromium 3 plus. So the orange dichromate in machine will get converted into green. So if orange color of dichromate in the machine gets converted into green, that means the driver has drunk. Is that clear, everyone? So this is also used for alcohol detect test. It is also used for alcohol detect test. Yes. Now, this is the way you balance the redox reaction. Now, only part is I can't balance all the examples. You need to understand the oxidation part. I will write it. Fe2 plus can be oxidized to Fe3 plus. SO3 or SO2 can be oxidized to SO42 minus. So higher oxidation state, that's all. Right? So the test is pretty easy, Prashant. Your machine contains dichromate solution in it, which is orange color. Right? When they put that machine in your mouth contains alcohol. So dichromate from the machine will oxidize alcohol to acid. Right? And if alcohol is oxidized to acid, dichromate will be reduced to chromium 3 plus. So the orange color dichromate will get converted into green. So if dichromate in your machine gets converted into green, that means your mouth is containing alcohol. right, which has been oxidized by dichromate, right? Now they cannot detect exactly the amount, right, but they can detect the rough amount by the change in the or amount of dichromate consumed can be used to detect how much alcohol is present in your body. No, now they using machine where they blow the small part of it. That I don't know, Rohit. You must be having better idea of it. But this is used for alcohol detect test also, right? This is also used for alcohol detect test. Potassium dichromate. Okay? Yes. Now these are the examples you can see here. You can see here. These are the examples. Fe2 plus has been oxidized to Fe3 plus. S minus 2 sulfide has been oxidized to sulfur. Then this is an important reaction, guys. Cl minus has been oxidized to Cl2 0. This reaction is important. After the class, whenever you get time, try to balance this reaction. Okay? This is an important reaction. Now, there are many other examples. I minus can be oxidized to I2. SN2 plus stannous can be oxidized to stannic, SN4 plus. So this is your oxidation half which is changing. Reduction half everywhere is same. Reduction half for dichromate is always same. Only the oxidation half is changing. Right? Are these there in textbook? Most likely yes. Some of them will be there in your textbook. Right? But these examples are sufficient. All these reactions should be by hearted. Very good, Athar. Did I by heart this reaction, Athar? Did I by heart this reaction? No. I am telling you the way I balance it for NO2 to NO3 minus, you can balance it for SN2 plus to SN3 plus or SN4 plus. Right? The way I have done it, for NO2 minus to NO3 minus, you can do the same thing for SN2 plus to SN4 plus or I minus to I2. Balance the redox reaction, no? Balance the redox reaction. Why you have to by heart it? I told here also, balance this reaction and practice. It's important. Right. So there will be H here. Right. Next, what are the uses of it? It is used in titration, right? It is used in volumetric titration. You must have used also, if you are using, like KMNO4, it is also used for titration. It's a primary standard. It's used as a primary standard. You can add it to burette like KMNO4. Now, important fact here is, among potassium dichromate and sodium dichromate, K2Cr27 is preferred over sodium dichromate in volumetric analysis. Why? Because potassium dichromate is not hygroscopic, sodium dichromate is hygroscopic. Hygroscopic means it absorbs moisture. It absorbs moisture. Right? So potassium dichromate is preferred over sodium dichromate because sodium dichromate is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture from air. Right? Yes. So this is first use of it. Let us do one question on it. Among these two, which is a better oxidizing agent? Dichromate or and in which medium? Among these two, which is a better? Medium is not a problem. I have already answered this. Medium is not a problem at all. Acidic basic medium is not a problem at all. Which of these two is a good oxidizing agent? Potassium dichromate or potassium chromate? Which you can think whatever you feel is right, you can answer it. I think I'm going to get the similar answer from everyone. All right. So let's end it on a count of 3, 2, 1. Now, let's try to end this. Yes. So see, all of us have studied in electrochemistry that reduction potential, to identify which is a better oxidizing agent, we check reduction potential values. So reduction potential is directly proportional to oxidizing power. Whichever has more reduction potential, it is a better oxidizing agent. Now, if I give you the values in acidic medium, chromate CrO4 2 minus, if it gets reduced to Cr3 plus, its reduction potential is minus 0.13 volt. Whereas the approximately reduction potential of dichromate 2 Cr3 plus is roughly plus 1.33 volt, right? So you can see reduction potential of dichromate is more than reduction potential of chromate. So more is the reduction potential, more is the oxidizing power. So therefore, your dichromate is a better oxidizing agent than chromate. Right? I hope it is clear. Last slide, Sakshi. This was the last slide, Sakshi. Right? Now, at basic medium, what happens is, basic medium mein, the problem with dichromate is, the problem with basic medium and dichromate is, in basic medium, OH minus attacks your CrO bond, which breaks and converts your dichromate to chromate, CrO4 2 minus, right? And CrO4 2 minus is basic medium mein, your dichromate will get converted into CrO4 2 minus, and CrO4 2 minus is not a good oxidizing agent, right? What about option B? That's what I'm answering, Sanat. In basic medium, dichromate will get converted into chromate ion, and chromate ion is not a strong oxidizing agent, right? We can also solve by which compound has more H plus ion. No, that you can't say that, Rohit. But reduction potential is not given in question. Why will reduction potential be given? I am giving you for extra information. Okay? I told you dichromate is stable in basic acidic medium. In basic medium, dichromate will get converted into chromate, and chromate is not a good reducing agent, right? Why would they give reduction potential? If they give reduction potential, it becomes a very easy question, no? Then what is the difference between those who know this and those who don't know this? All right. So let's do one more. You can identify the incorrect statement among this. Identify the incorrect statement among this. Yes, I think all of you have got this. Yeah. So let's try to end it on a count of 3, 2, 1. Now. So let's try ending this now. Yes. So we had already discussed potassium dichromate is preferred over sodium dichromate because potassium dichromate is not hygroscopic, sodium dichromate is hygroscopic. That's why this statement is wrong, right? This already we know. H2S can be oxidized to sulfur. Colloidal solution of sulfur or suspension of sulfur is milky white. Then dichromate solution in acidic medium is orange. This is also correct. Dichromate solution becomes yellow in basic medium because it gets converted to chromate ion. It is also correct. Yeah. Try this one. Potassium dichromate, when heated with concentrated sulfuric acid and a soluble chloride, gives the red vapors of. You should be knowing this very clearly. If you don't know this, then there is a problem here. Right? You can start voting it. I can tell you, you have done it in lab. I can only tell you, you have done it in lab. Keaton, you can vote a message on chat, beta. These are level of JEE Mains NEET type questions. Guys, answer it carefully. You have done it in lab. That's all I can say here. That's the only hint for you. All right. So we'll end this in 10 seconds. So please vote fast. Yes, Monisha, you are right. All right. So let's end it on a count of 3, 2, 1. Now. Yes. So it is, I guess you know this. It is known as chromyl chloride test. I didn't teach it because I was hoping if you know it in lab or not. Next class I will discuss its reactions also. Right? In chromyl chloride test, you get CrO2Cl2, which is known as chromyl chloride, and it is what color? It is orange, red, or you can say brown color compound. Correct? This you have done as confirmatory CT for chloride ion in lab. Okay? This was done in lab for chloride ion. Yes. So next class will start with the KMNO4. I guess 2 classes or 3 classes will finish this chapter, and we'll start with coordination compounds, which is a very important chapter. And in the coordination compounds, I will start class at 9 AM rather than 9:15, so that we can do some extra problems as you are doing in physical. So organic and coordination, we will do a problem solving sessions of 10 to 15 minutes. So those who wants to attend, they can join. Okay? Chalo, let's discuss today's quiz also. I think you must be knowing this. It's related to sport, right? Tomorrow, do you have a chapter test? No. From next Monday, from coordination compound, I'll do that, Ganesh. From coordination compound, I'll start from 9, not 9:15. Answer was C, Saksha, CrO2Cl2. Saksha, answer was C, CrO2Cl2. There is no chapter test. You will directly have a combined test now. You can see in 1974, India had advanced to the final of the Davis Cup. I hope you know what is Davis Cup. Then Amrit Raj, right, very renowned player at that time, said it was a bad call. The only time we had an excellent chance of winning the Davis Cup, and we gave it away. Davis Cup, Bay. Davis Cup. What are you guys saying? 1974. Exwer declared the winner of 1974 Davis Cup. What was the reason that India didn't won the Davis Cup? Right? So what bad call Amrit Raj is referring to? Why we were not able to win the Davis Cup in 1974? No, it was South Africa who won. It was South Africa who won. Athar, what is this, man? Davis Cup is a cup for a sport. What doubt you can have in this? Davis Cup is a sport. It's like World Cup. It's like World Cup. It's like a World Cup of tennis event. You can say that. It's a tennis ka World Cup. World Cup or big event in tennis. You can say that. Yeah. Yes. Prashant, very good. No, it's not due to Pakistan-India issue. I think Abhishek is right. So the reason is this. It was against South Africa. India refused to play South Africa in a protest of racist colonial rule prevailing in South Africa at that time. India was not happy with the racist colonial rule in the South Africa at that time. That's why Indian government said we'll not play the Davis Cup final. So that's why since we didn't participate in Davis Cup final, South Africa was given the chance. Now, one more thing which I would like to answer here is, here, as somebody had asked why we can't use potassium carbonate here, the reason for that is the potassium chromate and Fe2O3 both will be insoluble. Sodium chromate is soluble. Both will be insoluble. And if both are insoluble, it will be difficult to separate potassium chromate from Fe2O3, right? Therefore, it will be difficult to separate potassium chromate from Fe2O3. Sodium chromate is soluble, Fe2O3 is not, therefore you can easily separate sodium chromate. That was the reason. Okay? I guess that's all for today. Thank you all for joining in. We'll discuss the KMNO4 compound in Monday's class. Till then, take care, study well. Do prepare for the upcoming test. In F block, what we will study? We will study F block elements in F block. Athar. Not much. We will study only their electronic configuration and some contraction, lanthanide contraction and all. Not much. Yes, thank you, Pritesh. Thank you, Ganesh. Tata. F block will not study in detail. Just elements, electronic configuration, some properties. That's all. D block we have to study in detail. Yes. Take care, Chandan. Thank you, Neha. All right. So take care, all of you. Have a good day ahead. If they are insoluble, then how it is difficult? Are, Prashant, if both of them are insoluble, there is no difference in their properties. How do you separate two compounds? You dissolve it. One is soluble in water, one is insoluble. Then you filter it. So insoluble component is collected on the filter paper, and soluble component is in the liquid, right? But if both are insoluble, how will you separate it? You need to resort to the options like magnetic separations, all those methods, which will take time, right? So by filtration, you can easily separate if they are, one of them is soluble, one of them is not, right? Kishore, that too will not get now. Maybe I don't upload Kishore. They will do it later. Yes, separating Fe2O3 and K2CrO4, Prashant. We are talking about those two compounds. You have to get your chromate separate out, na? तभी तो उसको convert करोगे dichromate में. If your chromate is present with Fe2O3, then how will you convert your dichromate to Fe2O3? Your H2SO4 may react with Fe2O3 also. Yes. All right. Take care, all of you. Enjoy your day. God bless you all.